you, and I yield back.
Thank you. Representative Hoyle, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chair Fox and members of the committee. I'd like to wish everybody a happy Cinco de Mayo. We could be celebrating the victory of the Mexican army over the French, but we're here renaming a body of water. And let's be clear, this is a waste of taxpayer dollars. When we changed the name of Fort Bragg numbers of times and back to Fort Bragg, it cost $6 million, but who is going to pay for the maps, for the books, for the signs that municipalities, schools, and libraries have to replace? Who pays for that? We do as taxpayers. So this is a waste of taxpayer dollars. And this is not what the American people want. My phone isn't ringing off the hook with people saying, please rename the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Over 70% of Americans oppose this bill and spending time on this. My phone's ringing off the hook with seniors who can't get through to Social Security, are on the phone waiting 4, 6, 8 hours and then getting disconnected, with veterans who can't access services, with private citizens and elected officials whose grants have been frozen, grants that we, with Congress, with the power of the purse, said should be spent. And projects are dying. And we are getting lots of calls from manufacturers and farmers and small business people who are being devastated by onerous and erratic tariffs. That's what people are talking about when they're calling our office. The founders of this country set up our democratic republic with 3 separate and equal branches of government, specifically so that the United States would never have a king, never be ruled by one person. We took an oath to obey the Constitution, not to bend the knee to the president, no matter what party they're in. And yet, here we are, again, wasting taxpayer dollars. This was proposed in 2010 by Stephen Colbert, a comedian, when he was making fun of actions like this. And now here we are. It has become a reality. Went from a comedy show, and now we are in Congress with everything else going on focused on this. I'm going to read a quote from a Guardian editorial, because I think it says everything. Why stop here? How about declaring by fiat that the Washington Monument is now to be called the Trump Monument? Why not chisel another presidential face onto Mount Rushmore and call it Mount Donald? The great renaming has begun, and George Orwell would understand exactly what's going on. I urge my colleagues to reject this bill and get back to work on things that benefit our constituents and the taxpayers of America. Thank you very much, and with that, I yield my time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Fishbach. I'm sorry. Mr. Griffith, you're recognized.